Korean superstar Son Heung-min has been named the top Asian footballer performing outside the continent by the Asian Football Confederation for a record fourth time.
한국 축구의 간판 손흥민 선수가 아시아축구연맹 AFC 올해의 국제선수상을 통산 4번째로 수상하면서 이 부문 역대 최다 수상 기록을 경신했습니다. Tell us more.
Well, he was announced the winner of the AFC Asian International Player of the Year at an award ceremony at Kyunghee University in Seoul. So that must have been pretty cool for him to win that award in his home country. And it recognizes an Asian player's performance outside of the continent, meaning the continent of Asia. And they looked at the latter part of 2023 and the first half of 2024. So that's the football season. And during that stretch, Sonny became the sixth player to reach the 150 goal mark for Spurs in September last year. Then he scored his 200th European goal the following month. In December, he became Spurs' all-time Premier League assist leader. And he scored 17 goals and got 10 assists in just 36 matches last season. So he definitely deserved this award.
Yeah.
And he has won this award previously, 3 times previous, 2015, 2017, 2019. No other player has ever won this award more than once. So that's why we say it's a record fourth, because every time he wins, he just keeps setting a new record.
A record fourth time이라는 것은 기록적인 4번째 이렇게 해석을 할 수 있는데요. 그 얘기는 뭐냐면은 처음으로 이렇게 통상 4번째 국제 선수상을 받은 그런 선수가 됐다. 이런 얘기겠죠. Now, Son Heung-min is a football player, and yet we have the verb perform here, which can be confusing for learners.
Sure. In this case, it would mean playing. If we're talking about an athlete, you'll talk a lot about a team's performance or a player's performance. Still just means how they're playing.
Exactly. 자, 축구를 하다, 어떤 스포츠를 하다라고 할 때 play 동사를 굉장히 많이 쓰지만 perform이라는 동사도 쓸 수 있습니다. 그래서 이게 둘 다 어떤 활동을 한다 아니면 어떤 스포츠를 한다라는 의미로 쓸 수 있겠고 물론 스테이지 위에 올라가면은 어떤 무대 위에서의 연기를 펼친다 이런 게 될 수도 있겠지만 여기서는 축구장에서 축구를 한다라는 의미로도 볼 수 있습니다. And what about a confederation?
You can think of that as an alliance, an agreement between people or nations to cooperate, whereas a federation has a central authority figure.
Okay.
Confederation is more of an alliance with just groups agreeing to cooperate and work together.
confederation이 있고 federation이 있네요. 여기서 confederation은 연맹으로 해석을 보통 합니다. 자, 그러면 다시 한번 제가 읽어볼게요. Korean superstar Son Heung-min has been named the top Asian footballer performing outside the continent by the Asian Football Confederation for a record 4th time. Here's our next headline.
A rare U.S. dime stored in a bank vault since the late 1970s and regarded as one of the rarest coins of the 20th century has sold at auction for over $500,000.
일명 20세기 최고의 희귀 동전 중 하나로 불리며 1970년대 후반부터 은행 금고에 보관되어 온 미국의 희귀 10센트 다임 이 동전이요. 경매에서 $50만 넘는 금액에 낙찰됐습니다. Wow. Okay, so a dime is 10 cents.
A dime is a 10-cent coin.
A 10-cent coin.
So
right.
in North America, all the coins have names. So 1 cent is a penny. 5 cents is a nickel. And funny thing, I think in the States too, in Canada, nickels are bigger than dimes, even though a nickel is only 5 cents.
Right.
Dimes are the smallest. They're even smaller than pennies. And that's 10 cents, and then a quarter is 25 cents. The U.S., that's all they have for coins. In Canada, we have some other coins. We have a $1 coin, which has a picture of we call it a loonie, which has a picture of a Canadian loon on it. And then because we made a $2 coin, people just call it a toonie. Even though it's a stupid name, that's what it's always been called.
A loonie and a toonie.
Yeah.
그래요. 일단 미국에서 동전이 여러 종류가 있는데 1센트짜리는 penny라고 하고 5센트짜리는 nickel, 10센트는 dime, 그리고 25센트짜리 동전은 quarter라고 한답니다. Do they still use the coins, I wonder? In Korea, we used to have one coins. No one uses them anymore, so I feel like they've gotten become sort of useless
Yeah,
in a way.
they got rid of pennies in Canada. I don't like. Just depends if people are still using cash. In England, people still tend to use cash more so. Like when I was in Canada last time, nobody was using cash. I don't even think I touched Canadian money the whole time I was there.
비슷하군요.
I didn't. In England, I find people do, and I find in Japan, people still will use cash more. But Korea is more like Canada and the U. I think the U.S. People just use all the different electronic pay systems.
그렇죠. 우리나라에서도 뭐 동전을 안 쓰진 않지만 예전에 비해서는 이제 월등히 많이 안 쓰는 것 같다는 생각이 들고요. 특히 1원짜리는 쓸 일이 거의 없잖아요. 그런데 보니까 영국에서는 물건의 가격 자체가 이렇게 뭐 $3.99, $5.99 이런 게 되게 많아서 현금으로 이걸 구입하면은 어쩔 수 없이 1페니를 받게 돼요. 그래서 그런 1페니 동전 여전히 쓰는 것 같더라고요. 자, 본론으로 다시 돌아와서 okay, coming back to this story. This is a rare American dime, right?
Yeah, they're saying it's one of the rarest, actually. Now, because it's missing this S, a letter S, that's a distinctive mark of the U.S. Mint. The mint is where money is printed, so all countries have their own mints. And they're saying that this dime was one of only 2 dimes that were made in 1975 that didn't have that S that were known to exist. The previous one was sold at auction in 2019, and it got about $450,000. So this one, even more, $506,000. 3 sisters that live in the U.S. state of Ohio, they didn't want to be known. They inherited this dime after their brother died. He'd kept this coin in a bank vault for more than 40 years. I don't have it here. I think he paid it was less than $20,000. So he still paid. Yeah, he bought the coin for $18,000. But that is quite a return on investment there.
Wow.
And his sisters are, I'm sure, very, very happy.
이 민트라는 거는요, 여기서 그런 이제 동전을 만드는 곳입니다. 주조하는 곳이라고 볼 수 있겠죠. 근데 거기서 맨 처음에 75년도에 나왔던 동전 중에 이 다임이 이제 뭐 글씨가 여러 가지가 있을 거 아니에요. 근데 실수로 S자가 들어가야 되는데 들어가지 않은 몇 개의 동전이 있대요. 그래서 그게 희귀 동전이 돼버린 겁니다. S자가 빠진 요 이제 1975년 루즈벨트 대통령의 그 얼굴이 있는 동전이라고 하는데 그게 이제 낙찰가가 이번에 $500,000가 됐다고 합니다.
A lot of times when there's errors on things, they become more valuable.
이제 $500,000 would be about 6억, I think.
Yeah, about that.
6억 정도. 원래는 10센트인데.
Yeah, but they still paid almost $20,000, so 20 million won to buy it in the early 80s.
Ah, got it.
So that would still, they say that's roughly $90,000 in today's money.
Ah, I see.
How much they would have paid for it.
그러면 뭐 한 1,000만 원 이상 주고 예전에 샀었고 이번에 한 6억을 또 받게 됐군요. 팔면서. 자, regarded as라는 표현 보겠습니다.
When you see regarded as, it's viewed as or considered, the way people think of something. Kind of like the reputation, you can think of it that way.
네.
Son Heung-min is regarded as one of the best players in England.
그렇습니다. 아까 그 계산을 잘못했네요. $90,000면은 1,000만 원이 아니라 한 1억 정도가 되겠네요. 자, regarded as something은 무엇으로 여겨진다라는 의미가 되겠습니다. 그래서 지금 손흥민 선수 얘기했는데 손흥민 선수는 뭐 탑 플레이어, 최고의 선수로 여겨진다. All right, well, here's the headline again. A rare US dime stored in a bank vault since the late 1970s and regarded as one of the rarest coins of the 20th century has sold at auction for over $500,000. Now let's move on to the final headline.
China has lost over 1/3 of its billionaires since 2021, driven by economic challenges and stock market declines, according to a rich list produced by the Hurun Research Institute.
중국 후룬 연구소의 올해 부자 명단에 따르면 경기 침체와 주식시장 하락의 영향으로 지난 2021년 이후 중국 내 억만장자 수가 3분의 1 이상 감소한 것으로 나타났습니다. Tell us more.
Well, as we said here, the list of billionaires dropped by 1/3, so that's definitely quite interesting. The list also looked at people with fortunes of at least 5 billion yen, which is about 700 million USD.
Okay.
The number of people on this list, it was down 12% from this past year and 25% from 2021, and that's when we're looking at millionaires or just anybody on the list that fits that category. The richest person in China, the founder of ByteDance, which is the company that makes TikTok.
아, 그렇군요. 역시 틱톡을 만든 틱톡의 the company that made TikTok, 틱톡을 만든 회사의 대표가
That owns TikTok, runs TikTok.
그렇군요. 네, 그 오너가 중국 최고 부호라고 합니다. 자, economic challenges 볼까요?
Economic challenges, well, that would be problems in an economy. So companies having problems making money. But economic challenges, especially when we're talking about China, we can also look at government restrictions as well that limit what people can do and limit what companies can do.
그렇죠. 경제적인 난관, 해결 과제, economic challenges. 이 challenge라는 단어가 그래서 도전이라는 의미만 있는 게 아니고요. 어려운 점, 난관 이런 의미가 있습니다. Produced by someone?
When you produce something, you make something. You create something.
맞습니다. 이 방송도 우리가 프로듀서가 있잖아요. 그래서 뭐 제작하다 의미도 있겠지만 produced by 그다음에 어떤 research institute가 여기 나왔죠. 그래서 어떤 연구소에서 만든 작성한 리스트 이렇게 보면 되겠습니다. 자, 다시 한번 제가 읽어볼게요. China has lost over 1/3 of its billionaires since 2021, driven by economic challenges and stock market declines, according to a rich list produced by the Hurun Research Institute. Well, that's it for the headlines.